Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Angel Baby Kyra. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Substack. We're going to be talking about a little trend that's been going on, which is the performative male. There is, I believe, a performative girl or performative female, but I feel like female feels so like aggressive for no reason. But I made a TikTok about this and I made some people angry, but a lot of people were agreeing with me that events that are titled as community events often aren't community events. They are for optics, they are for content farming, they are for networking, which those things in itself aren't necessarily bad. Some people just hate influencers or content creators. The thing that for me is that it's not labeled that way and it's just very disingenuous. And I feel like in LA, like everyone talks about community, but there really isn't much community in my opinion.
How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!
It's more of like how someone can use you for something. I think that there's a vast difference between transplants and obviously people who are native to LA. Or like, oh, well, you're making this into divide, blah, blah, blah. Someone said that I was being reckless for using a video that I saw on TikTok and the comments were like performative male competition. And I just thought it was interesting that the comments were all pretty much saying the same thing. So I was just like, I wonder why they're saying this. And it was because it was just an event to take pictures. Like it was a matcha event. And like my intention wasn't to like single out this particular event. I didn't even mention name. I just included the TikTok that I saw. And I wasn't even talking about the people in it specifically. Like I wasn't saying, oh, this girl, blah, 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 this guy. I wasn't saying the name of this event. I was just saying that it's interesting how performative events like this are so heavily also curated, which adds to the performativeness of these kinds of events. And it's very cliquey. It's very high school in my opinion. This video is my opinion, okay? So if you can't understand that and grasp that concept, which a lot of people don't seem to have on the internet, then like please like get off this video. Like if you're not here to even like listen about like what I'm even saying, like this is such like a non-issue, but I'm talking about it because it's something that I'm constantly around and I just never know like who actually wants to be my friend. Or like, no, I'm not saying I'm this big person with influence and shit. I'm just saying like I just don't know who generally wants to be my friend. And a lot of times like people like look at your followers and see like what you do and like who you know, and it's just very tiring at the end of the day, like not knowing who your friends are. And I do want to say not all transplants are the same. Obviously there are a lot of people who are transplants that are super nice and respect LA in the space and like our internal community. Understand the gentrification of communities as well and how it pushes out a lot of people who are already very low income, but I've been like part of LA's backbone for generations. And I feel like I have this very strong tie to LA just because of familial things. Like my great grandfather planted a lot of the trees in downtown, and my great grandmother, when we took her to the hospital to get her checkups and she was like in her last years, she would still like know all the best ways to get around downtown on the streets. And she would say, oh, we used to go ballroom dancing in this building, or we used to go out to this place. And you know, it just feels very much like home to me, and it's very like sentimental to me that I have my family in LA, and it just feels like I'm supposed to be here because my family like, you know, had so much ties to like the city and that's how they started like their life. And I feel like a lot of times like it's not respected by people who like come here just to like, I don't know, use it as a stepping stone and don't understand the culture, don't understand the history of like Los Angeles and why it's so like detrimental to downtown LA's economy, with new Air One being built while businesses are struggling to survive because of the landlords and because people don't think it's safe to come to LA. Also, people who do work in LA don't feel safe because they're not safe to come to work, and it's just this continuous cycle that I can't get out of, and it's really, really heartbreaking. Like my husband got let go from his job working at a pizza shop in downtown. You know, the owner is like luckily having, you know, other income, and really, really heartbreaking honestly to see LA, and especially like with the fires and everything. It really showed like how much influencers like do not give a about Los Angeles. Like, they just got on a plane home when the fires were happening, and like they just came back whenever they felt like it. Like, people had to stay here and, you know, live in it and see the devastation. Like, I was working in Pasadena as an assistant for someone, and I didn't go to work, obviously, because they were right where 18 Canyon was at. Some of their neighbors had stuff burned down, and when I came back to help her, her house, because obviously there's ash and all that stuff everywhere, it was really, really sad to see it that way in Altadena. And going out during that time to help volunteer and give like water and all that stuff to the firefighters in Encino, and then seeing like just smoke and ash and just it looked like a doomsday. It's something that I won't forget and I can't forget from my memory. I know that sounds dramatic, but it really, really impacted me. And I feel like that's why Angelinos are so protective over spaces and over Los Angeles, over the city, because we see that people don't respect it. Like, you don't treat it like your home. You don't treat it like it's your home. You don't take care of it like it's your home. If something isn't yours, you don't take care of it as much as you would if it was yours. And I feel like, you know, this is such a non-issue, blah, blah, blah. But like, to us, to people who actually view this as our home and it is our home, it is very hurtful in that sense where it feels like, you know, we're getting taken advantage of. Like, you can literally just go back home to your mom and dad, like in another state. And it's just very strange how Silver Lake was a historically Hispanic majority community, and now like it's so obviously gentrified. And I feel like gentrified is such an overused word because there's so much more depth into it that I feel like I don't even have the right words to like describe it, but there's so much more depth into it. And you know, I'd be a hypocrite if I said I didn't enjoy these little coffee shops, these little like aesthetic places or photo shoots or creativity, and like as if I don't ever shoot content. I do. I'm not saying that I'm better than these people who do shoot content. Like, that's cool, you came here to do your thing, whatever. But it's like it's kind of hard to break that mentality where it's like we don't see you as someone that's just like clout chasing, which a lot of people are. Obviously there are exceptions. I will keep saying this because some people will be like, well, not everyone. I didn't say everyone. Jesus, I'm already getting mad. These performative events that are labeled as community, to make friends, to meet new people, to have a space, a third space where you can come together. Such in my opinion, for the most part of these events, because I know everyone's focusing on how these people dress in a performative way, which I guess the outfit, costume, or like the starter pack is matcha, black boxy shirt, black baggy jeans, maybe some Steve Madden loafers. If not, maybe some Balenciagas if you got a little bit more money. For the girls, it's basically the same thing. You know, there's a formula, and I know that there's subcultures. I know that people, you know, they meet up together because they like the same things. Of course, they're gonna dress the same. Thing is that in my comments, I found it interesting that people were sharing their experiences of how these people behaved and how they felt like left out because some of them didn't match their aesthetic. And this goes into the thing where people are only friends with people who match their aesthetic, which is really to me because like we're not Pinterest boards. So like the fact you're only friends with someone because they match your aesthetic is just really, really odd to me. And it's just like I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt and like be like, okay, they're not gonna be mean to me. Like, humans, they're a whole different person. But damn, a lot of these people are like the same, and it's very fucking hurtful because I'm such a forgiving and loving person. No, if you me, I will slap a like, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that I'm this angel being. I know it's in my name, but like, damn, I will stand up for myself. Like, I've taken too much in my life to not like for myself anymore. And I will speak on it. And even though I will cry after, and after I speak on it, I will still speak on that. I just think that it's very sad that there aren't any genuine community, because how can you be genuine with your community if like it's based in like clout basing? So of course like you're gonna have a lot of connections because you have to kind of network to get like to come to your event and stuff like that. Like, I run events, I put on shows. Like, I know it's very fucking hard to like get people to come out and to care about you. That's why I'm always like side-eyeing people who like do events and then they have like all this funding, have all this branding done already, and yet they're like, I'm an indie DIY event space, blah 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 blah. And it's like,
Huh.
Like, I put in so much of my own money into like events and like doing like creative like, and I don't mind doing it because obviously I love doing it, but like it's so much harder for people to like find me or see me because I don't have the budget for sponsored posts. I don't have budget for like creating content every day, like how they have like high quality content every day. It's just so much for me to do on my own, and it's literally just me and my husband doing these events. So it's just like really discouraging sometimes, especially when I see these community organized events and they have like huge sponsors and shit. I'm not talking about the one in my TikTok in particular. Like, this isn't aimed towards anyone specific. I'm just saying in general, like, it's really hard to make friends in LA, and I can't imagine the dating scene either. I don't even want to think about it. Like, you know, LA is kind of hard. It's kind of a hard place to have a community compared to like a non-big city. I feel like it's kind of harder when you are in a big city because you just don't know people's intentions and everyone's trying to be someone. When everyone's trying to be someone and everyone's trying to be the main character, it's kind of hard to like build like genuine connection. And I also feel like if you're just not like a genuine person, obviously you're not gonna build genuine connections. And I feel like that's kind of why like I stay away from those kinds of things. Like, I will try to go out to events that people that I actually know in real life, but a lot of times when I come to these events, it's just really cliquey and just very middle school. Like, I don't know what that phase was supposed to accomplish, but you guys get what I'm saying. I feel really bad for like the people that are commenting because a lot of people are saying they felt the same way and they just don't know how to make friends and they're new to LA. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with like people who come to LA that are transplants, like being like, I want to make new friends, I don't know how. And I know it's probably very scary to come to a new city and like be like, I don't know anyone, you know? And I feel like that takes a lot of courage to do that. But I'm more talking about people who already come here with connections, which I don't understand how that happens because it screams Nepo baby. And if you don't know me, you don't know how I feel about Nepo babies. Now you know how I feel about just the sigh alone. I feel like should let you know how I feel about Nepo babies. I feel like this performative trend and just like also the awareness that these people have is also kind of scary because they're like, oh, performative male event in New York or in Brooklyn. And it's a guy with a tote bag, wired earbuds, a matcha in hand, a book about feminism, and you know, there you go. Like, that's it. But having that awareness is just funny to me. I feel like it's kind of like good to have that awareness, like knowing like this is probably how people perceive you. I know that even if you dress this way, it doesn't necessarily mean automatically you are performative, but I just think it's good to understand like you can like joke about it and be like, haha, like this is performative male. And I feel like it's mostly pertaining to males, but I've seen some reels like pertaining to girls, which is kind of weird. Yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I know this video is more like rambly, talkity thing, but I just wanted to speak from my heart. I didn't have a script for my other performative TikTok video, so this is what y'all are getting, okay? Let me know what you guys think. If you're in LA, let me know. I don't do the fake thing where it's like, oh my god, does anyone want to be friends? And then I don't friend, and I'm sorry, I won't friend everyone back unless I really like what you do, then I will, because I don't want to do that fake shit. Like, I hope you guys like understand, like I really don't want to do that fake shit, you know? Like, I'm trying to build my own brand and like be a con, like real talk. Like, I will not follow everyone back. Like, I'm sorry, like I just can't. Like, one, I just don't want a really crowded feed, and two, I just really want to follow people that I enjoy their content if I don't like know you in like real life and stuff. But just keeping it real because I'm trying to get brand deals, I'm trying to get am I performative? Okay, anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.